this video, we get to see every page in this travel scrapbook. You'll get to see every detail in this entire album. And as a bonus, I'm giving you the links to where you can still get some of the elements I used in these layouts. This was a trip with my daughter to Paris and London. She was living in Paris, so I went to visit her, and then we went to London together. This first page is sort of a snippet of the trip. I used Cricut for the title, Paris and London, and then I have some little letter stickers from Basic Gray letter and sticker sheets. Since Basic Gray went out of business for scrapbooks, I found similar letters from Simple Stories' Alpha sticker book. I love these letters. The font is thinner with Simple Stories, but these little strips are the same, and I just love them. These airplanes here are the Jumbo Jet Border Maker cartridge, long ago retired, but available on eBay. The link is below. And I used these photo slide frames in my Rom-Com layout. They are Crate Paper's The Pier slide frames, and I don't think they are available anymore. This little train embellishment is something from Michael's. It was in the dollar section, and there was a bunch of different little travel pieces in there. You'll see a couple of these in this album. I used a lot of peekaboo pockets in here since it is a smaller album and I wanted to fit many things. There's a peekaboo pocket with a ticket to Saint Chapelle, and underneath there are postage stamps from London. And this picture of my daughter and me is at a place called Sketch Tea. I did a 6-page layout of Sketch Tea, you'll see. And then there's a little map that I printed out and cut it so that it was blue for the water. And there was this little stamp I had from Dear Lizzie. It says, "This was rad." I haven't been able to locate this old roller stamp, but if you do, please leave a comment for others to find it. This is sort of the cover page to the album. When I landed in Paris and checked into my hotel, I walked to the Louvre. This is the second time I've been to the Louvre, so I didn't see the Mona Lisa this time because I stood in that line before already. This was a little place I walked by on my way to the Louvre where there were people riding horses. My daughter's art history class was at the Louvre, and then I met her there when she was done. There's a little map back here that I printed off of the internet that has, as you can see, the Louvre there and other parts of Paris. And this room that I thought was really interesting. So that was my little tour through the Louvre. On this page, I printed out my walking distance for the day, which was 11 miles. I thought that was fun, and I can't believe I had climbed 26 floors. This is the Medical Royal Palace. It was also Marie Antoinette's prison. I thought that was interesting. This hello is from Project Life, and I stamped Paris with the Martha Stewart custom stamp setting kit. Here's Saint Chapelle. I hadn't been to this church before, so my daughter wanted to show it to me. It is absolutely gorgeous. These pictures don't really capture how pretty it is with all the stained glass, and I love how the ceilings were shaped. Very, very pretty. This is a border punch from Creative Memories. It's the On the Vine border punch. This background paper I loved. It's a vellum actually, and it came with the Countryside Comfort Vellum pack. And I printed an Instax of Saint Chapelle and the map. I have an Instax printer that I can choose any photo and print it out onto Instax like I took it on an Instax camera. I use that a lot in this album since they're smaller. We took the metro to Miznan. It's this Israeli area in Paris that has amazing food and amazing stores, lots of really cool shopping in the Miznan. This was a whole cauliflower that they somehow, I don't know if they broiled it or roasted it and torched it. It was amazing. And then we went to La Relais d'Entrecôte, which is steak and frites. Basically, there's no menu. They just bring you this amazing steak and frites. And then they have the sauce that they do, and it is so good. And then they bring you dessert. The line is always out the door, so if you ever go to Paris and you're looking for a good meal, I highly recommend this place. The paper is Creative Memories. There was like this little restaurant cafe themed eatery type collection called Made with Love ages ago. And that's where this sticker and these things are from as well. I can't seem to track any of it down, so if you find it, please share the link. Again, it's made with love. The letters are cricket, and this is Père Lachaise Cemetery. My acting teacher actually recommended visiting this cemetery since he knew I was going to Paris. I hadn't heard of it, and it was kind of funny that he recommended it because he doesn't like scary movies, but he's telling me to go to a cemetery. It is gigantic. It is on 110 acres. It's over 4 million square feet. It is about as big as the Vatican City. It is huge. And a lot of famous people were buried there, including Jim Morrison, so we definitely saw his grave. That's Jim Morrison's grave there. But what was really cool, besides the fact that it was huge and many famous people were buried there, was the statues and sculptures were so interesting that this is the cemetery that Disney modeled for the outside of the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland. Pretty strange looking statues and sculptures. This is the place that inspired the Haunted Mansion. This one doesn't have a head. I love this little path here. And this, just so interesting. Like, these guys really make me think of the Haunted Mansion ride, which is funny because this cemetery is hundreds of years old. And I'm thinking of Disneyland. This lady crying into her hands, and all of these are just so interesting. And I definitely got some vibes here, and it was a bit overwhelming for sure. You can definitely feel the energy. This is just green cardstock, and I found a little cross sticker that I liked. Then we went to the Foundation Louis Vuitton. There's a waterfall coming down a staircase, winding through vertical mirrors. It's very artistic. There were a lot of peacocks outside for some reason. And so there's this beautiful park around the building as well, and that was really neat. It is located outside of the main part of Paris, so I would have never thought of going there, but my daughter wanted to see it. I really liked it. The paper is that Countryside Comfort Vellum pack again. Moving on to the Centre Pompidou. This is basically like a modern art museum. I put my ticket in a peekaboo pocket in case I wanted to get it out. I can reach in and just pull it out. There's the Metro map. These were some of the art pieces that I really loved the most. And I really like the ceiling falling down to the floor like that. I know it's so simple, but it's kind of a cool idea. And then this heart in the peekaboo pocket here was really interesting with the 2-man cross saw. It's just really cool. Here's the outside of the building. It's just very modern and interesting for sure. We wandered around here for a long time. These letters are basic gray, which I cannot find any remains of their lovely scrapbooking supplies. And then we took the train to London. This is the Rolling Hills Border Maker cartridge on green cardstock. And then I have navy cardstock. This border punch up here at the top with the mountains is called the Majestic Mountains Border Punch. I really liked how that came out. I don't use a lot of border punches. I need to try to incorporate them some more into my pages because I really like how this looks. The train title is Cricket. These letters again are that pack from Basic Gray, and these numbers as well. These letters are from Basic Gray Paper Cottage chipboard stickers. I did do this album a while back, but I haven't shown it to you yet. So a lot of my supplies are a bit older. And as you can see, I really love Basic Gray designs. On this page, these little travel elements and the arrow are a travel pack from Creative Memories called Travel Log, no longer available, and I cannot find it anywhere. This train is from that Michael's $1 pack I mentioned at the beginning. This train with her and I is our Snapchat map location, and it showed that we were on a train going from Paris to London. I thought that was cute, so I printed that out and just circle punched it. And then we are in London. I did the draw feature on Cricket instead of Basic Cut for the title. This paper is Basic Gray Carte Postale. Here's our Snapchat location again. I printed it out on Insta, and it just shows that we're in London, England. I just thought that was cute. And this is King's Cross train station, and I just love how big and grand it is. I have a cloud punch from Fiskars, that's what this is. And I just put a bunch of the clouds together over this paper, which is from Gather Together, which I absolutely love this paper. I could use it all day. I love very neutral geometric papers. I wish they would make more of this type of paper. And unfortunately, Gathered Together is nowhere to be found. I put a little sun behind the clouds. It's just a circle punch. We were there in March, and this, as we left the train station, were our views around the area. This is the first place we went to. We were going to the London Eye, as you can see on the right, but we had to wait. We got tickets and had to wait a couple hours, so we went over and got some food at this pub. This paper and this paper are the reverse of each other. They are Heidi Swapp Dreamy. I can't seem to find any more of. I think this sticker label was in a pack as a gift from one of my friends during a scrapbook retreat. It looks like a kind of a menu or restaurant thing, and I wrote with the white gel pen on it. This banner is a sticker, which was also a gift from another friend at a scrapbook retreat. And I just punched out a little heart and drew a rectangle around the London Eye. And I just like the style of this just really simple but not so perfect rectangle, so I did that. And then we were on the Eye. This is that same Heidi Swapp Dreamy paper. These embellishments are crepe paper on the pier chipboard accents, and I can't seem to find those anymore. I hand cut these clouds on the left here. I just sort of drew clouds and then cut them out and then punched the one on the right. That's from Fiskars. And these stickers are those basic gray ones from the beginning. We did a selfie inside the London Eye, and this is our view of the city. We went into another pub called the Victoria. This is in Paddington, which is a really sweet area, very nice, very quiet streets. It's really pretty, lovely architecture. This paper on the left is Heidi Swapp. The paper on the right is Country Comfort Vellum Pack. There's a meat pie, and we had a couple of pints, and then she's here, and you can see me taking the picture in the mirror. That's so funny. I didn't realize that. And I made these little corners. I think I just cut them out myself because, oh, this guy's falling out. I think I made them myself because I didn't have any. And I can't believe I have Live, Laugh, Love in here. Well, it was 2018, so I guess it's okay. It fits. This is Sketch Tea. This was such a beautiful experience. The whole place is like being in a painting. It was enchanting. This is actually a lace ribbon that I just put up here, and this is just some pink cardstock from Basil with some gold stickers. I don't know who these heart stickers are from. And I just wrote out a whole journal of our experience here and printed it out. And then I stole the menu, which I'm sure you're not supposed to do, but it's like a little book. It's so cute. We got the egg and soldiers, the caviar, the finger sandwiches, the scones. We had tea, of course. There's a tea master that comes to your table. These are all the different teas. I think we did the Red Dragon since it's the sketch favorite. I don't remember it tasting like an Earl Grey or a black tea, so I think that the Red Dragon makes sense. We had a man come over to do the caviar, and someone brings out sandwiches and the other trays, and then there's a person with a trolley that has cakes and things. We were also drinking champagne. I have the paper here, same thing, and the ribbon. I just used a regular paper doily from Michael's here, and the flamingo is from Pink Paisley Citrus Bliss. This place felt like being Alice in Wonderland, and I loved all these things on the wall. News, your windows have been cleaned. News, hole found in sock. Just so strange, artistic, and beautiful. Everything was so beautiful, just so picturesque. It's hard not to take a million pictures. There was this cool looking neon piano and this picture of the Queen with her eyes closed. The bathroom has this cool ceiling with all these colors, and then each toilet is inside of an egg. So in this peekaboo pocket, you can see I have two different photos here. I just had to take pictures. I was like, I shouldn't take a picture of the toilet probably, but I thought it was so interesting. You just walk up there and there's all these giant eggs sort of scattered about. And then I punched out some balloons with a random balloon punch and then drew the white gel pen to make their strings. And then I punched out hearts under this cloud. And these are Mrs. Grossman's penguins from a million years ago. Just the penguins, they just sort of match this guy who's pouring our champagne. It was just really fun. The lighting was a little tricky, as you can see. The pictures aren't amazing, but it was such a fun experience. If you can ever get to London, I highly recommend going to Sketch Tea. It's sort of hidden. We had the address, and we couldn't find it. there's like a door in an alley or something. It was, at least for us at the time, it was tricky to find, but it was really cool. I loved it. And this is Hyde Park. It's just so pretty, and there are all these beautiful flowers, and this bicycle is Creative Memories Simply Sunshine. So pretty, but all sold out. And then here's Buckingham Palace. This was the time of year where you can't go inside, unfortunately, so I'll have to go back. But of course, you know, the iconic guards out front with their tall furry hats. This is from Crepe Paper Storytelling Chipboard Accents. And then we took a double-decker. So this is her resting her feet on the top of the double-decker. We got the front row and we cruised around for a bit. These stickers out and about are from Creative Memories called Archivers ABC123 stickers. This was fun for this page. Here's some fish and chips that we had in this little Instax photo. I didn't even put any paper behind us. You don't need it. This is the Parliament, I believe. I can't remember what these stickers are from, but I just like, it's like the coolest looking places, you know. I think that I got a sticker pack in London for this double-decker bus sticker and the London Underground sticker. And it was just really cool and fun traveling around. This brown wood paper is from the Countryside Comfort paper pack. That's no longer available. I'm using that right now in my Italy album. This is Westminster Abbey. I was at the phone booth taking a picture and I wanted the Abbey behind me, so that was fun. It's just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? My goodness, this diagonal paper is from Gather Together. I used it earlier in the album with the clouds. This is a basic gray cart postal letter sticker sheet for the word Abbey. I can't recall where these letters are from. And then we went to a little restaurant for breakfast one day, and it had some really interesting art. I have a bigger picture of this in the back of the album I'll show you. But this one on the Instax, it's a famous painting, The Battle of Princeton. And it's the Redcoats, and that's George Washington on his horse. But in this rendition, you have the Death Star in the background here. And they all have lightsabers instead of swords. I thought that was a really cool idea for the art. And I just thought she looked cute there. And it was a cute little place. We went to the Globe Theater and toured around. We didn't happen to see a show there. This picture of William Shakespeare is a huge graffiti piece on a wall in a tunnel. I think somebody added an earring. Did he always have an earring? I don't know. Maybe he did. I should know these things. But this is the Globe, and these papers are Countryside Comfort paper. Isn't this pretty? Those birds here. This Bon Appetit is from the Made with Love foodie collection with the Good Eats. And then this paper is Countryside Comfort. And then I actually typed this on my typewriter. And I think I did a video of this layout, so if you want to watch the video of me doing this layout, I'll link it below for you. And the phone booth, you know, so iconic. I have Hello, Hello. That made me think of the Lady Gaga telephone song. And she's coming out of the phone booth, so cute. And this is the Made with Love foodie paper pack. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it is. I don't know what these little arrows are. This chevron paper is from Travelog from Creative Memories. This was just something I printed off the internet. It's a map of London. And you know, me coming out of the phone booth, just couldn't decide which photo because they're both so cute, right? But all those are the little sections of London on the map here. And this is Serial Killer. You can watch me putting this page together in a video. I will link that below for you. This place was all 80s, and it was all cereals and ice cream and coffees and drinks that you could have cereal in, but it was not what you would normally think of. But it's called Serial Killer, and it's in London in Shoreditch. A lot of these are the Crepe Paper Boys Rule collection that is definitely, sadly, long gone. This paper is basic gray persimmon. Let me know if you can find it. This Instax photo says, some swimming pools and a broken crack pipe. It's a whole thing. You can check it out on my serial killer process video. It's so funny and interesting. I think this girl is Cosmo Cricket. Did anybody else get Cosmo Cricket? Their papers were so thick and lovely and beautiful, but they went out of business very quickly, sadly. I think it's because they gave me a bunch of stuff for free. I had a lot of their papers. They would just send it to me and I would blog about it. Maybe that's why they went out of business so quickly, but really high quality stuff. And I thought it was pretty affordable when I did choose to buy it whenever I saw it because they went out of business so fast. Anyway, that was back in the days of blogging. Then we went to the other parts of Shoreditch. The graffiti there is actually beautiful in my opinion. I absolutely loved it. It was very cool. Very, very cool. This paper is Countryside Comfort Collection. These letters were gold letters from Creative Memories. These are just the Creative Memories black sans serif letters. I just really liked their graffiti. Isn't it so cool? It's just so interesting. There were actually tours of people being educated on each part of the graffiti in Shoreditch. It was so cool. I wish I could have captured more. It's very interesting. Like, this is a sculpture. This purple lady is a sculpture onto the wall. And then you've got graffiti. And then you've got random posters and art. It's just so interesting. And then we went to Queen's Skate. It's ice skating all year, and they have bowling. This paper is Be Mine from Creative Memories, and these embellishments, and the heart as well. This is all Be Mine. This is a picture of my skates. The letters are from Basic Gray Letter sticker sheet. We went to Indian food. It is the most delicious Indian food I have ever had. I love these diamond shapes from Be Mine paper, and I cut it so that it sort of matched each side. And this is the Countryside Comfort Vellum paper. And then we went to Camden. It's really cool because you can watch the locks fill and empty with water to move the boats on their way. It's really, really cool. I've never been to a lock before. This banner is Basic Gray Carte Postale, and then I don't know what this greenish paper is. This paper is a Countryside Comfort. And then I just typed out the journaling and sort of started it with a big letter there like that. Camden is like a food court, at least the day that we went. It's like a big food court, all these different foods that you can get, and then, you know, it's sort of like a farmer's market on steroids. It's just really cool. We're leaving London, so we went back to King's Cross train station. I have little train tracks from Creative Memories. It's a border punch. And the train itself is a Border Maker cartridge, which is no longer available. And I did the puffy cloud for the train smoke, that Fiskars punch. This is outside of King's Cross. And then inside, you can go to platform 9 3/4. So we did that. My daughter was kind of mortified that we did, but you know, our whole family's been watching Harry Potter for many years. She read all the books, of course. So that was fun. And this is just the last page. This is sort of a snippet of the trip. There's Sketch Tea, and there's that picture of the Battle of Princeton from that one little restaurant, as you can see. It's lightsabers and the Death Star is so interesting to me. It looks like the Redcoats are winning, I would say. Yeah, it does. The original was painted by John Trumbull, in case you're dying to know. Here's a funny little van food truck. I thought that was cute, so I took a picture of that. And then we have this picture of us leaving London from Snapchat with time to go home on the cloud. I printed it and punched it out. And then there's a Big Ben made out of Legos. And then there's this picture that looks like Mary Poppins, but it's really Princess Diana. And it says, "You can be as naughty as you want, just don't get caught." That's really cute. And then there's another picture of my daughter in the phone booth and some London postage stamps. This Sun paper, I don't know where that's from. This album at the time was called a Happy Album, but now they're called the Journal Album. They measure 6 3/4 inches by 10 inches. I really liked this size of a scrapbook album. There isn't a ton of room for big designs, mostly focus on the photos, which is what matters. I like how the size changed the way I usually scrapbook, and it made this a unique album for me. I really, really love it. The Scrap Journal albums are currently available on Creative Memories. Don't forget to choose me as your advisor. There's many different colors now. That is the end of my trip to Paris and London. I hope you enjoyed going through my travel album with me.